You ready?
Do this. I
Let's
got my gear on. I got fruit punch. Did my makeup for this. Let's go.
go. Welcome, folks, to the Community Curation podcast. I am your host, the Gothic Storyteller, and I am here with ThatMetalPaul. Welcome in, Paul, and everything. You got your fruit juice?
Yes, we're talking about vampires today.
Vampires? Oh yeah. It just clicked to me. Oh my god.
They
Wow.
just clicked to you.
That was a really good nap. It's 2025 still, right? Like
Yes, it is.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Oh my god. I'm a little late. I overslept the nap and everything. But folks, we are here with ThatMetalPaul, a close friend of mine and everything, from my filmmaking days back at the Art Institute of Houston. I ended up working on her film. She worked on mine, vice versa. She was a jack of all trades, from makeup to editing. What else did you do? I'm pretty sure I think you did some other jobs on the set.
As a fact, people, well, for almost everyone that was filming around that season for their senior thesis. I also did writing, which I want to get back into. But no, I just need to get back into the creative process of things. Like I just got back into reading. I'm reading Ozzy Osbourne's autobiography that I got back in Christmas. Rest in peace, Ozzy.
Rest in peace, Ozzy.
Rest in peace, Ozzy.
He is up there with the other heavy metal saints and everything. You got Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
You got
you got Lemmy. Although I'm not too sure anymore about
that's
that one.
that's what I meant. I think when I sat there and I said Vinny, I think I was thinking the Pantera's drummer.
Yeah, I mean him,
It works.
Dimebag died.
Yeah, it works. The
Yeah,
brothers
it works.
and everything.
Mm-hmm.
What made you want to sit there and be a filmmaker?
Well, I've always been a creative person. Like even when I was younger, I started off with drawing like every other kid, but then it just evolved to painting and then sculpting as growing up. And then high school is when I was practicing video editing really for school projects and stuff, but I found myself liking the process. And then also my love for um horror movies from decades ago, 70s and 80s, and especially how they do their effects all practical. Digital hasn't kicked in yet.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part. And it kind of infused all of my interests into that department. So that's what I initially wanted to be. Work in the film industry to do special effects makeup. But of course, because pandemic and everything, it didn't, everybody's plans derailed like mine was. And I ended up finding a job in the entertainment industry, but there's also room to evolve to do video for that, for LED walls for concerts, stuff like that. I'm becoming more and more passionate with this one because I've always had a passion for music growing up, thanks to growing up, again with Ozzy Osbourne, Def Leppard, AC/DC. It is just that's pretty much where I am at now, just working in the local music industry all around downtown Houston. Just also a jack of all trades, funny enough.
You share some stories about you running around Houston and having to do this and that for bands and everything, and you've also told me some fucking horror stories. I still think the worst one is your foot, where you just randomly got up.
Oh yeah.
And
That was me being an idiot. That one was on me.
Yeah, I'm all like, son of a bitch and everything. And then of course I think you had metal hit you or so because someone couldn't hold something up and everything. I think that was almost about a year or so before your foot injury, and it's like, oh my lord, this woman can't.
No, with that one, that was my first couple months working in the industry. It was the same weekend as the events of Astroworld post-pandemic.
Is that the
But
concert?
yeah, it was that same. No, I wasn't there working it. It was it was like the next day. Tame Impala came in. I was working the load-in, and we had to get everything up because it was like a huge production that they had, and they were gonna play at Astroworld. And so what happened was, it was me and my coworker. We were setting up the feeder, the feeder cable from outside the building because we had to set up, spotlights up on the ceiling of the venue I was at. But, I was crouched over, just to clean up cable, and I heard someone yelling, but I didn't know where it was coming from, and all of a sudden I felt something hit my back.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it like hit on my rib. Luckily, nothing broke. The medic said it was just like a contusion, and like my admins checked in on me, tour checked in on me, to make sure I was okay. And then the person that accidentally let that pin drop, because it was from a 50-60 foot drop. Yeah,
Oh my God.
I was lucky it didn't hit my head. That would have
Yeah.
been bad.
Yeah. I mean, we already have like a few missing brain cells already. That pen drop would have just taken you out completely.
Oh my God. Especially how hectic that load-in was already at, to start off our mornings and stuff. I didn't end up going home early, which good. I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Before we move on to the films, what is your favorite setup so far that you've ever done while working doing live music? Is there a favorite setup?
hmm. Let me. I don't know. There's been a couple favorites. Well, there was Lamb of God from a couple years ago at 713 Music Hall, but I was working hospitality at that one, but I was able to get good pictures from when they were performing. Cause who else was it that was opening? I don't remember. But Lamb of God was one of my favorites to work at for hospitality for sure because of how the show was set up.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my other favorite would be, it was like when, yeah, even though like at that point I was working for like 2 weeks straight, no day off. Somehow I pulled it off till like the loadout when my body was starting to feel the repercussions of my actions. Oh my God, it was Gojira and Mastodon. That one's definitely up there too.
We love a good kaiju.
That and Deftones. This past Deftones tour, that one was
Oh,
cool.
that's right. I forgot that you worked. Yeah, you worked the Deftones show.
Yeah, this was like my second time working a Deftones show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the first time it was, a couple years ago, they were playing at White Oak Music Hall.
Mm-hmm.
I don't still even know how the owner was able to pull that off because it was a huge production that they brought in, and they're used to stadiums.
Really?
And yeah, because
Because like I know that they worked the Cynthia Woods and everything
they
before and everything,
did.
but like trying to put all that stuff into White Oak and
White
everything.
Oak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I figured that
I
they
mean, we
would
did.
make sacrifices or
We did. They had to like make some decisions to cut some stuff out, just to accommodate with what White Oak was providing, electricity and space wise.
yeah.
They brought like maybe 10 semis, from if I remember
Okay.
correctly, maybe. Yeah. The last Deftones show I worked at, it was for a food runner and hospitality at Toyota Center. And yeah, and then me and my work friend, we had a chance to like go walk around the pit, and we were able to get that close to the stage. Like, I don't know if you saw like my TikTok from a while ago,
Yeah.
me
I
walking. Yeah, that
yeah.
one was pretty
Because
cool.
like I was like over here, it's like that bitch got to work Deftones.
Again.
Oh my God. I was jealous and everything. I was like, you fucking bitch. It's the same thing. I got jealous of my sister today because I found out that she got to see Garbage along with MCR, and I'm all like, son of a bitch, and everything. And my friend who is a big MCR fan is like, really? Like, you care more about the opening band than the main event? I was like, sometimes the openers are bigger bangers than the fucking headliners and everything. And yeah, it's rare. it's rare, but it happens and everything. It's like I'd love to see Garbage live, but never thought of Deftones as a stadium band now.
They've been big for a long time. You gotta like really think about it, especially since Houston does have like a large demographic of fans of new metal.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we do have like the local scene, but lately, like I used to fuck with the local scene, not that much anymore.
You did a documentary
Honestly,
on it.
I know I did, but then like over the years, because like I still follow people associated to the scene, whether in the band or a photographer, or just like you just want to hang out with like your buddies and shit. But it's just like like any other community, there's always bound to be like high school drama, or it's just like people that are like our age now don't know when to let go of that personality from high school. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's like some people just don't know when to grow up. I'm not saying it's everybody, but it's like some people for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I'm too grown to deal with that shit.
Sometimes though, it's kind of good to sit there and stoke a fire. I don't sit there saying like I pull that stuff off and on, but every now and then it's like, yeah, it's petty, but sometimes those people deserve it, so you want to stoke the fire a little bit. We're gonna talk
No,
about what was it?
I would rather just watch from a corner. I'm good. I'm
Oh
okay.
yeah. Like don't get into it, but just
No.
just throw enough on there so that when you get back away safely, it's kind of like a like a pyro lover. It's like you don't want to get caught up in your art, but you want to admire what you just made.
Yeah.
Oh my god. So, we are gonna sit there and talk about the first two films, because today we only have two films for this short episode to discuss with Paul. The first one's being Sinners, Ryan Coogler. That is one of the biggest breakouts of 2024.
Well, it came out this year, I believe. The
Okay.
trailer came out last year for sure.
Okay, so it came out. I wanted to think for some reason that it came out like in around October or November, right around Halloween time. And so this is a big breakout of 2025.
Mm.
We don't really get a lot of people that's all like, I choose a film that is very modern and everything, or quite literally just recently came out. So, why did you pick Sinners?
Well, after resurgence of Nosferatu, because I've always been a fan of vampires,
Mm-hmm.
and the last couple years we haven't been getting like good like vampire movies. Like I miss the original interpretation of them. They're just like very dangerous. They will tempt you, and they suck blood and fuck forever.
Jesus Christ. Well, welcome
Hey,
on the Off the Filter, Off the Record episode. Oh
hey,
yeah.
I mean,
I know how you
I
are.
mean,
I know how you are.
hey, like what we do in the shadows has been a great show to bring back, old school vampires with a very comedic twist.
Oh yeah.
To be fair.
It's especially just everything with Nandor and everything. I
Mhm.
feel like he hits the spot, but also too like I feel like Nandor is the underrepresentation of like what it is to be a real vampire, because I think when a lot of people look at this show, they think of Matt Berry and everything. It feels like him and Naja, his character, that's the lead. And I was all like, but what about the other guy and everything? I just forgot his name. Freaking slow brain here. But it's all like I was like, this dude is a real fucking vampire, except for the part where he was worried about dying and like everyone was like, look at his nuts. God, that was bad.
Oh my god.
But Sinners.
Sinners. Okay. Yeah, so I did see the trailer for it, I believe, when it came out. And it's a black vampire film, which I don't think we have enough of, in my opinion. And there was like music involved, and again, I'm a sucker when there's like music involved in a film, especially something that is so significant with Black culture.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be real, they're the ones that originated rock and roll.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say?
Yeah.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Mm-hmm. And mixing that in with vampires, like I didn't look into much of like what the plot was going to be about, and I'm excited to see how they interpret a juke joint because they are very important spaces for the Black community around that point
Mm-hmm.
because it takes place in in the Great Depression, which interesting enough they never mentioned that they live in a depression. You can just like see it all around you throughout the film in what small town in Mississippi and Jim Crow era.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it's just like definitely a movie that as a society we need it, like we need at this point, especially with everything going on, especially in the US and around the world clearly. And some people would forget their the roots where they came from, and music is such an integral part in every culture that has ever existed. Just like a good example of that right now is Bad Bunny with what he's doing in his residency in Puerto Rico right now. And it everybody's like pride and culture, was thriving. I mean, it's been thriving more from what I noticed in the last couple of years with things going on, political wise over there. And he comes out with the new album earlier this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, earlier this year. And it's just sparked a boom everywhere on social media. Um, even mainstream media, because Bad Bunny is like the #1 Latin artist in the world, I believe.
Has he kicked Pitbull off that? Well,
I mean, I
no,
know
no.
for
Pitbull's not Latin, is
no,
he? No.
he is, yeah, he's Cuban.
Okay, okay. I was about to sit there and say, I was
Yeah.
all like, I was like, well, then, like, no, it's like, is he Filipino? Is like that why they look up to him, or my bad, I got it all
No,
messed
he's
up.
Cuban.
That's why I was like thinking. I was like, wait, isn't he Cuban? My fucking bad, folks.
But yeah, it's just like more to remind us where where we come from, where you know these are our roots. We can never forget where we're from, and we have to band together and protect our own.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not just speaking for Puerto Ricans specifically. It's just like any minority, and it's pretty. Like I was already planning to watch Sinners either way. If we don't have like these prevalent problems at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But like culture plays a big part in Sinners. Yeah, because because at the start of the movie they've talked about three main groups. Um, you got like you got your African groups, your Native American groups, but interesting enough, Irish groups.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, because like if you look back into
Is that
history of
just a minority that was in Mississippi? I guess prevalent at that time, or
no, so pretty much you know how in the 1800s we've had like all these Irish immigrants come through, right?
yeah.
And they've all faced discrimination from like everybody because like gets I mean I'm kind of like speaking verbatim from the Dead Me podcast, doing some of the research. But when you really look into it and think back, like yeah, like Irish and Italians have faced discrimination from because of where they're from. But like what's interesting about the Irish though, because the British, they've always been about colonization.
Yeah.
But like once they colonized Ireland and pretty much taken over everything, they have the idea to implement that for wherever next country they want to colonize. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know that like the Irish and Native Americans have history together, like in support of the potato famine that's happened in Ireland. I forgot the name of the specific tribe that they reference in Sinners, but they've donated to help with the famine, and so they're just tight, you know?
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, that's like an interesting piece of history that everybody
'Cause I definitely
should
knew that the
understand.
Irish were looked down upon. Like, it almost seemed like if there was ever like a poor class of white people, it was
Mm.
always the Irish. And it's like I never really kind of looked into of all of the main reasons outside of, yes, the British were
Yeah.
colonizing, and that whole fight for Ireland's like independence and all that. Like, I'm not well
Hmm.
vastly known, so I don't really want to sit there and speak of like, oh well, this is this, but yeah, I have known some of that, but did not know that
Yeah, like
that
I'm
was
not.
going to come into Sinners. And
Yeah, I didn't know either. I just it's kind of like unfortunate that they didn't bring up more of like Native American lore into this. They only show up for like a brief moment in the movie,
oh, okay.
but I'm hoping that like if a sequel does come out, they would look into it more because hoodoo or voodoo is involved in the movie also with one of the characters who's involved. Who's the Michael B. Jordan's love interest.
Mm-hmm.
Well, isn't it that like he played twins, right?
Yeah, he played twins.
Okay, yeah, because the twin brothers have like their own love interest. One, which is a Smoke, of course, Michael B. Jordan, and which I didn't even realize that he also played the twin brother, which is very interesting how they played a lot with special effects in this movie, which
Mm-hmm.
I love, love, love. Because like they
They
look.
kind of went like the old school route of like how they sometimes did twins in movies, but like from
Mhm.
what I heard was they did like up the notch for it, because I did see like a little mini, I guess you would say, documentary online, and they were showing like
Mhm.
stand-ins that they had. So like if Michael had to sit there and respond to something, they had like the whole stand-in. I was like, oh, that's old school Hollywood. So like without really having to CGI it all too much. And
The Parent Trap. At least I know with the Lindsay Lohan Parent Trap.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, no, it's like very interesting how like they made them like, the same but different with Smoke and fuck. Sorry, it's just like the movie is still fresh in my mind. I forgot the twin brother's name, but it also starts with an S.
I
Hold
sat there
on.
and heard that this kind of also had a bit of From Dusk Till Dawn vibe, but it did it far better.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Because like, you're fighting vampires until the sun is up.
yeah. But like in this one, it didn't take such a comedic route. So you sadly did not have, oh my god, what's his damn name? The one with the cock gun. It's not Danny Trejo. It's not Danny Trejo, but oh my
No,
lord,
it's a Tom Savini.
Tom
Tom
Savini.
Savini. Yeah.
Yeah,
The master the master of special effects makeup in horror, bro.
kind of makes you wonder if Ryan
Give us
Coolidge ever thought about doing like a tribute to that, of like giving one of the, maybe not one of the twins, but one of the supporting characters, like at least give him some leather to just walk around in, and it's all like, it's supposed to be Tom Savini, but
Okay, yeah,
everything.
so the twins sorry.
You're good.
So the twins are Stack and Smoke.
Okay.
Smoke is like, you know, more of the like the sympathetic type. He's softer on his love interest who has her own like hoodoo shop. Like I keep forgetting like the difference between like hoodoo or voodoo or if they're the same. But that does play a part in the movie with like the vampire lore. And with Stack, he's like more business savvy. He cares more about the coin, and his love interest is a mixed woman
Hmm.
who, and where she lies in her ancestry plays a part too because apparently there was like like there's like this system, you know, if you're black enough, if you're Latino enough, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah.
where you're in the bloodline.
Mm-hmm.
She mentioned in the movie that her grandfather it was half white, half black, I believe.
Is that the
And
Haley
you know, it has
Steinfeld character, or uh
um
I think I've heard something about that. I don't know if I could be wrong. And she was one of the uh the vampires that came with the main guy.
yeah, it's Haley Steinfeld. She plays
Okay, okay,
Mary.
okay.
Hmm. Yeah, and you know, it's all and that's, you know, another theme in this movie. It's like, what are you then? Which community do I belong to? Because like at first, like she wanted to get into the juke joint, but the bouncer or you know one of the twins, they weren't so sure. Like they basically just told her to go home and stuff like that. But you know, Annie smokes you know, a partner comes in like you know, like at one point, like explaining to, you know, the white vampires that show up that like that she's family because they were telling him basically like you're not going in th- because this is a blues club. They're not playing whatever you know whatever honky dory music you know they have.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah, no, what it was so funny is that like they were playing, you know, music to them at the door to see if they can convince them to let them in, but they're just like, no, still.
Like they try to have, it's like, I'm with you guys. I'm hip. I know what it is. Like, I don't know. I thought
Like we
Doctor
can play
Evil.
music, but it's not the type of music that they want at their juke joint. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It's like that's just not our vibe. You know.
Mm-mm. It's not. It's not. But man, oh, the vampire design for this movie is so good. It's like one of the more unique ones I've seen in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
I've only seen the
you
still
know,
shots of them with like the blood all over their mouth and everything. But do we ever
mhm.
get like an actual form, kind of similar to Dusk Till Dawn, where there were some of them that they had like a very animalistic, take to it, or were these kind of treated very like maybe not so much um heavy makeup appliance,
Well, where the effects come in when you kind of like see their traits is when you know they a vampire's like injured by a gunshot. Not necessarily, you know, not like you know you see like what they are underneath the skin. It's not like that. They're still like like humanoids and everything.
Okay,
But it's
okay.
like towards the end with like the head honcho of the vampires for this movie, Remick. He like towards the end, like do you care I tell you what happens and
That
everything?
that's fine, because with my one brain cell here after a heavy good nap, I'll probably forget tomorrow. Unless when I edit
Okay.
this.
Yeah, so whenever like we're getting towards the like the last confrontation with Remick and Sammy, who is the twins' cousin in this movie, and a lot of people can argue he's the main character because we do start off the movie with Sammy showing up at his father's church. He's the preacher's son, and you know we see him all beat up, covered in blood, and holding the you know the guitar neck that he broke, and we don't know the context of this until it flashes back to the night before. So the whole movie takes place in one night.
Okay, yeah.
Hmm.
It's a raid movie.
Pretty much. And, you know, Sammy and Remick have this huge confrontation because the only reason why the vampires are there is because they heard Sammy sing. He's very passionate about playing music. But
Oh.
the thing is, his father is basically giving him the choice to like go with God or follow the devil with the blues.
Okay, and then that can kind of go through. There is one, I don't know if Sammy is supposed to be based off of him, but there was one blues player that did phenomenal that people sat there and thought that he made a deal with the devil. So I wonder if
Yeah,
maybe it's any uh
definitely a reference for sure.
yeah.
Like we didn't see any crossroads or anything, He's just a preacher boy who's very passionate about music, and that's all he wants to do. He just wants to play music and get paid for it.
Okay. Kind of gives me like
Mhm.
El Mariachi vibes. It's like now he's gonna walk around with a loaded Joshua Tree fucking guitar, and it's like, you know, it's like I sing for Christ, and you know I play the blues, but if you're a blood sucking fool, I'll take you too. I don't know. Oh my god.
Yeah, because like, yeah, there's been like connotation, you know, with the music in this movie, or you know, it's always like, oh no, this I don't like this kind of music. It's bringing out the devil, you know, stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah. How the old way, you know, kind of viewed rock and roll and everything, and uh you're good. I saw the frustration in
Well,
that focus. Thank God my camera does not do that and everything. I have this bitch locked, so I never get that focus shit. We're gonna wrap up with our final thoughts on Sinners and everything. Which now, just hearing you talk about it, it's like this sounds really, really fun, and to kind of get another point of view. Even
fun.
though it seems like in the promotional material, it seems like Michael B. Jordan playing the twins is the center character, but then you mentioned Sammy. It also gives me kind of vibes to The Great Gatsby, where everything we are told from an outsider's point of view, you know, kind of told through that. I enjoyed those. I like stories like that. I wish that they told more stories like that to begin with.
I know you need to watch it though. It's such a fun movie to watch, and you learn a lot from this. And what's so interesting is that they had a lot of consultations involved in this to make sure this was accurate. So it's leaning, you know. So he kind of the director he took like like a Robert Eggers approach.
Mm-hmm.
Is it Robert? Yeah, Robert Eggers' approach to like make everything in this time period accurate. They even had twin consultations.
They went deep. They went deep for it.
Yeah, they went deep with this one, really deep, and it's I'll watch it over and over again until I have my own physical copy, and then yeah, once like I have like my own physical copy, like I won't have a problem like watching it again tomorrow. I know Tommy wants to watch it. He wanted to watch it with me, but because of this, I was watching it by myself. But we're gonna watch it later after we record.
I'm still not recovering after learning Tommy's never seen Happy Gilmore. That was a gut shot. That was a gut shot. um so we're gonna move on to our final film to discuss and everything. The one and only great Robert Eggers Nosferatu. I really did wish I could see Ryan Coogler's Sinners for the screen, because I loved Nosferatu on the big screen. That was
Mhm.
oop, did we? Oh, never mind. I almost thought we lost you. It was a wonderful Christmas present that I treated both me and my mom. I remember that day. I had to pee really badly halfway through that film, and I crossed my legs. I was like, I'm not missing a single piece of what Robert shot. It is beautiful,
You're not
beautifully shot.
missing a single frame of this movie.
Oh, it
You're determined to
it kind of
sit there
sucked
and
too, because
watch it.
there was a jump scare and I had to tighten up real quick because I thought I was gonna have to piss myself, and
Oh, no.
I'm all like, nope, I'm game. We're almost towards the end, because I checked my phone and I was like, yep, it's almost over and everything, and I was like over here, it's like I gotta go to the bathroom so bad, but Robert Eggers is Nosferatu. We'll be talking about this and everything. Why did you choose this?
Big fave for vampire movies for me now. It's number one in my list of top 10 vampire movies to watch for sure.
Oh yeah, it's
I,
earned that
I think,
spot. I think it's
oh
the
yeah.
modern day Francis Ford Coppola Dracula adaptation. It is the modern day version. Except, you know, women ain't pining over Dracula just like they did with Gary Oldman.
Oh my god. But this one is more of a sophisticated Dracula movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and everything.
More
The,
sophisticated.
the style and everything that kind of went through. Um, you feel even from like the opening segments of Orlok's presence without really having to show him. And
Hmm.
me, I'm a big, you know, FW Murnau fan. I love a lot of German expressionism. So Nosferatu, I picked up a lot on that. I picked up Cabinet of Dr. Caligari in this film. Like, to me, I feel like
Hmm.
this film was a love letter to a lot of the Weimar, I think it's the Weimar Republic, um, during the German Expressionism. I think that was the head studio. It felt like a huge love letter to that, but while also it's like, well, we can't just forget Dracula because that's a dark tale as well. It's a long one. It's very fucking dark, and there's been, I'm pretty sure it's not even it's not even a an exaggeration. There's thousands of adaptations of Bram Stoker's work, and
Mhm.
everyone knows the
Even Andy
story.
Warhol made his own Dracula film.
Isn't that the one where Udo Kier is fucking dying from drinking all of the women's blood? And he's like, "Oh, these whores are going to be the death of me." And is that it? Was that Warhol's Dracula?
I don't remember. All I know is that because I found it randomly on YouTube a long time ago. I didn't even know he made movies, and it was on YouTube.
Well,
All I
I
remember is
don't
that
think he made movies. I think it was just more of, I think he helped in some way the
you,
production, and so like they just threw his name on there.
I guess. All I know is that he was involved in a couple movies. All I remember from the premise of this one, the acting's pretty cheesy. It's like basically Dracula travels to go find a wife,
Yeah.
and then he has his eyes set on these two sisters, and they're involved with, I believe, he just works at their estate. I don't remember exactly what he did, but yeah, when I googled the plot of this movie, it had the word incestuous sisters. I'm like, what the fuck are we talking about here?
It was the 70s. It was a different dark time.
Oh god, it's just yeah, the movie wasn't that great. I'm just letting you
Oh,
know.
those Warhol films don't get any better because when you watch Frankenstein Unbound, there's apparently time travel. There's a whole bunch of other weird shit. Yeah, yeah. Don't watch those films if you want a faithful adaptation to Dracula or Frankenstein. You're not getting that. It's it's an experience, that I will say. It's an experience. It's one of those films of, I don't watch it for the plot. I watch it for the batshitness of what it is. Um, I guess you could say the same thing for Robert Eggers Nosferatu. I watch it for the plot and the batshitness. Me and my buddy Steven have talked about this film, and uh, he mentioned that it kind of felt like 2024 was a bad year for Aaron Taylor Johnson and everything, because it seemed for such an incredibly talented guy, he would kind of get these minuscule roles that kind of don't really give him enough time to develop and shine. um and me, I'm over here, it's dude, you fucking sit there and see fucking Skarsgård as, it's it doesn't even sound like him. Lily Rose Depp is the fucking star of the show. Nicholas Holt, yeah, Holt. God, I sound like
Yeah.
a German trying to say hot. Hot. Sorry, it's hot in here. But yeah, he all they all did wonderful, but Lily Rose Depp and the Skarsgårds, those guys, they're made of talents in their fucking blood.
Yeah, no, she really, really redeemed herself. Even though her involvement with the idol, it wasn't her fault. It's just two guys took over a woman's project and took it to a completely different direction than what it was supposed to be about.
Huh.
Which is crazy to me.
I gotta sit
Yeah.
there.
You didn't know this?
I gotta, no, I didn't even know any of this.
Yeah, The Weeknd and the creator of Euphoria got involved, and they basically pushed away the creator of the idol at first, because again it was supposed to be a completely different direction. They kept some of those themes in there with Lily Rose's character, still dealing with what she's been through with her mother and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But man, it would have been so great if those two did not get involved, in my opinion.
I was about to say Euphoria is canceled, right? I don't think.
No, season 3 is still in development, I think, but given with the drama, especially after season 2, I have a feeling this might be the very final season of Euphoria for sure.
Okay, because I remember they had some trouble and everything, and I was like, wow, did that creator just really sit there and go, well, you know what, my show's fucking hitting the tank. Let's fucking tank this bitch while we're at it too. It's oh my
So the
lord.
drama is why it's tanking now.
Okay, okay, and everything, but
Mhm.
Nosferatu,
Yeah.
wonderful, beautiful, cinematic. It's very rare that I think Robert Eggers ever lets me down. I still need to see The Northman. That's the only film of his I
I
still have
haven't seen
not.
that one yet.
Yeah, and like I don't know if I really want to sit there and see Tarzan in a loincloth running around committing fucking vengeance. Like I feel like it's Tarzan and it's Conan mixed all into one and everything. Um, that's at least just from the that's my speculative thoughts and everything from seeing the
Mhm.
clips. But what drew your eyes? Because I know you and me, we love the original Nosferatu. That was like
Mhm.
one of our bonding things in film school. So like what drove you to pick this one as well?
Oh, well, when it first got announced, I was kind of like in the fence on how they were gonna pull this off. Because remember, Nosferatu, the original one, was a silent film,
Yeah.
and you got some like line cards here and there because it wasn't because talkies weren't a thing yet, and because I was already a fan of Bill Skarsgård, and seeing Nicholas Hoult be in another vampire movie,
Oh, that's
like this
right,
is
because
like what his
he did Renfield and
yeah,
everything.
he did Renfield and he was in another one too. I forgot what it was, but anyway, yeah, that would have been like his third vampire movie within the decade, I believe. And then Bill Skarsgård, he already scares the shit out of me as Pennywise in it. No, but I've been a fan of his since Hemlock Grove on Netflix,
Yes.
and he's played a vampire before.
Yeah.
So how is he going to bring in like his experience doing horror into you know a remake of the most significant movie in German expressionism, I would say, right?
I would sit there and say it's one of the most significant movies in history because even though horror wasn't coined until the 1930s with James Wells Frankenstein, and I really shit on Todd Browning's Dracula because that was a romance, a dark romance movie, and I'm all like,
Exactly. Yeah.
it's like,
Hmm.
all right, yeah, sure, let's go with that, buddy.
Yeah.
But
No, it's
like,
like it's
I look at like Nosferatu as like at least the original film. It helped kind of write some of the blueprints of what horror was, even though it was considered a melodrama and it was not considered a horror film. I think to most of us horror fans, it's a horror film. It's about a fucking
mhm.
vampire that travels, all the way from what's supposed to be like a Transylvania to Germany and spreads a rat plague that is killing hundreds of people. Hundreds and not thousands, like literally wiping away an entire fucking city. Um,
Because plagues were more prominent back then,
yeah.
and then what was around the 1910s or early 1900s? There was the Spanish fever, I believe. Yeah, everybody had to be in
Mm,
quarantine
yeah.
back then.
Uh-oh. I think, are we losing her? Are we
Oh,
hold on.
oh
We're
no.
yeah. We almost lost you there for a bit. You're back. We got you back. Continue the thought.
Yay! Yeah, and then yeah, like what I wasn't expecting as much was just like, the how people would treat mental health in the 1800s.
Yeah.
Like, because we all know that back in the day, medical treatment for anything was very whack.
Yeah, like
Like,
they
you
would
got a
sit there and
headache,
have
let's
it that
give
if
you
like
cocaine about it.
if a woman was acting out too much and everything, I think like they quite literally just had sex toys. And it was like, she just needs to have an orgasm. Then she'll be fine. She won't be angry. And it's like, what the fuck, dude? What?
Oh, they would think like she had hysteria or something.
Yeah.
And in this case, she has like depression. They just call it melancholy.
Yeah.
That's basically what they diagnosed her with, and it was, and we see like the origins of that up from the start of the movie. That she was lonely, she lost her mother, her dad, doesn't I believe like he doesn't like respect her that much, right? Because of how she is.
Yeah, and everything because
Yeah.
of the strange visions and like, her this is where we get the Kevin and Dr. Caligari because she's a somnambulist and everything. So um and then there's also the religious connotations that supposedly maybe she's been touched by the devil and um Like, Lord, have a woman have mental health issues in that era, and they just think immediately she's with the devil, and it's like Jesus Christ. But
Like,
continue. My bad.
no, you're okay. Like, man, can a girl have a hobby? Shit.
Like, there's also like in this film, I know like a lot of people have like spoke that it's like, well, pretty much the villain of the story is Lily Rose Depp, because the people here would not have an issue if she didn't feel so goddamn lonely and then accidentally called upon this entity, which I do think is a really cool, interesting way on vampire mythos. You don't really get something in which it is practically like you're calling upon something, and it's always like the be careful what you wish for, because there could always be something evil out there, that could answer your call. And I'm all like, you know what, I can't sit there and think. It was like, not even with the 79 Nosferatu, it didn't
Mhm,
sit there and do that. It followed Nosferatu straight as an arrow and everything. And they've only
mhm.
changed like the whole thing with Harker, where like Harker kind of becomes like a villain in that one and everything. But if you haven't seen 79 Nosferatu, like, I would say do that, because the travel to Transylvania, to Count Orlok, it almost plays like a documentary. And I
Mm.
mean, like, the director Werner Herzog, he is a documentary filmmaker, but like, I never sat there and thought, hey, God, this looks so beautiful traveling to a fucking evil man's lair. Everything, like, look at that river, it's so beautiful. And you kind of get that too with Nosferatu. It is hauntingly beautiful, like the way how the locals are and everything. Um, and then of course, like the giant. I thought at first it was a matte painting, but apparently it was a studio that they rented out. But it's the crossroads where Harker is going to, and then you just have the horse chariot like coming towards him. I'm like over here, it's like, this is fucking magic. Especially when he almost thinks it hits him, and then he opens his eyes and look, and the chariot's like on its side, and the door opens and pushes in. And like, to me, seeing it, I was all like, we are being introduced into a world of darkness, and I am fucking here for it. It's so beautiful and so poetic in the dark themes that it has. And I'll praise this fucking film left and right and everything. Eggers fucking knows what the hell he's doing. I
Oh yeah.
I think Eggers is gonna go down as like one of those filmmakers of, he has a very unique style, and that's what's gonna sit there and make him last forever. Like Carpenter and Craven, all of them. Like,
A lot of his movies have a lot of substance to it. It's not just like a typical horror movie just to scare the shit out of people, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like, yeah, like I kind of like want to go back to like Lily Rose Depp's character Helen. Um, with her mental state at the start of the movie, she was lonely and everything, and she was just so desperate to like have someone in her life, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I take it as more as like there's just like awful people out there that are willing to take advantage of people who are very misfortunate mentally. Like we've all been there. And and then like once we move on to like the current time, once like, she's married and everything, that she never really addressed her demons. And then the rest of the movie happens where there was this plague and then there's people in her life being killed off left and right. I just say more of like it's kind of like a good learning lesson that if you don't you'll never be able to move on with your life and be healthy if you don't like address these issues
Mm-hmm.
before jumping into like wanting to forget about all the trauma you've been through. Like, we can be sympathetic with someone that, has trauma in their life, no matter, whatever it could be that has happened. It's up to you on how you want to take care of yourself and, deal with these issues in a healthy way for you to be able to live a long, happy life with the people around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Preach it.
Yeah. Mhm. Yeah, no, it's just like, oh my God, it's just like so good how it's just like represented, especially for someone that can like relate and can see through the lens of that. And of course, the cinematography and the acting beats there's just they just do something in my brain that tickles my brain a little bit with like how how they delivered their lines and everything, and then how we move on to the next thing. It's so you don't see movies like that anymore, and we need to bring those back. It's
Yeah,
so good.
especially
It
Willem
tickles my brain.
Dafoe. I feel like Willem was just told, like, you know what? I don't think you went insane enough with the
Mm.
lighthouse. I think you really, especially the whole, like, it was one of the earlier shots that they did where it's supposed to be where the men go to kill Orlok, but
Mhm.
obviously, Orlok is already off to go get Lily Rose Depp's character, and they're setting fire to the place in which he's been living. And there's like all these rats and everything. Like, I just feel like that whole scene, all fucking fever dream. Cause you're almost like, what the fuck is going on here? It's like, obviously, yes, we know that Nicholas Hoult's character was fooled into going here because even Willem Dafoe's character knows that Orlok was not going to be here. He's going to go for his wife and everything. So he kind of went through, and it's like, you fucking fooled me, you fooled me, and he's just like going insane, like, no, it must happen, ha ha ha, and like he's like setting fire and shit, and I'm all like, this is like, I need this form of manic energy to get me through a day. I need that energy to get me through a full day without a nap. I absolutely love
Oh my
that. Um, what is it? The guy who played Renfield and everything, like, he was phenomenal too, without going too overboard and everything. There's just some of these performances you can tell.
hmm
I don't think anyone ever phoned it in, but there's just a different style, and I think that's kind of like where maybe some people feel like other actors have been buried underneath it all. Because like Lily Rose Depp and those seizures or whatever she was doing, I I haven't even seen that before. That was almost like Exorcist vibes.
for sure. She's like in a manic state on what the fuck is going on, and she's just having a really bad mental breakdown.
Yeah, she's just having a really tough time, and she accidentally conjured a fucking vampire that is fucking plaguing all of, Germany, and it's all
hmm
like, cut the girl some slack, we love her so much. And especially to see her come all the way from like the Nepo baby film that is oh my god, that Kevin Smith one, the one where they're fighting the bratwurst Nazis, yoga hosers. Seeing her, because like
Oh my
that was
god.
my first time seeing her go from that, and then seeing what she's done here. She's grown a lot as an actress, and I can't wait to sit there and see what else she's gonna do, because I think she's coming back for Werewolf next year with Robert Eggers. I think.
Oh,
I know
that'd be
I
cool.
know Aaron Taylor Johnson is gonna play the titular werewolf, and it's gonna be 16th century, I think, England or something like that, if I remember correctly. It's been a while since I've sat there and I've read the news on that and everything. But like, I'm like over here, it's
Mm,
like, you know what? It's like, you didn't act crazy enough in his last film, and I think he noticed it. It's all like, you gotta lose your mind in an Eggers film. Patterson did it. Defoe's done it plenty of damn times. It's like, you just gotta bring him in, and I can't wait. I really hope that Defoe comes back for all of this.
mm. No, I'm very excited for upcoming horror movies. Because we have Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein coming out soon
Yes, in November.
on Netflix. Yes, I am excited for that one.
I wonder if it's gonna
Because
come out the same day as the original James Well one, because that was a
may
November release.
mm, that'd be pretty cool.
Hmm.
hmm Uh, so anything else you want to point out about Nosferatu that we should talk about?
Did we see his
Because
dick?
yeah, whoa, no, there's a fun fact about that. It's actually fake.
Well, I fucking figured that damn much. Like,
Yeah, and here's what's so funny. So after they finished filming the movie, um, Nicholas Holt asked if he could keep the prosthetic. Yeah, and there's a picture of him holding it that he has it now. He has it framed. It's
I don't
hilarious.
know how to take that information. He framed Orlok's dick from 19 or from 2024. Oh my lord.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a picture of him around holding
We
that frame.
we better, because I know I've seen Superman, so there better be a sequel to Superman where Lex has like this whole apartment full of like rare art deals, and there better be in some weird obscured out of focus area. They're all like, is that? Is like, yes, yes it is. And then they just continue moving on, and maybe only the fans of Nosferatu would know that is, oh, that's Orlok's dick. He's got Orlok's dick on fucking display.
Hilarious. Oh my god. Yeah, I don't
James
think.
Gunn, if you ever find my podcast and you're listening to this, do it. We need to sit there and see what Luthor's house looks like, and if he has Orlok's dick hanging.
It's a nice little cameo for Holt for sure.
Right? And everything. Like, Robert Eggers is all like, holy shit, he fucking did it.
Hey, I'm still waiting on my R-rated live action Scooby Doo movie. Or was that James Gunn or was it Sam Raimi? I keep forgetting
Well,
because they're just both like,
James Gunn wrote the early 2000s Scooby Doo.
okay, yeah, that's what I thought because we came so close to get an R-rated Scooby Doo,
Yeah.
so close, but no, he had to tone it down. Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of hard to, because that's such a beloved child franchise. It's, you know, you can't do like what they're doing with this fucking public domain stuff of like Steamboat Willie,
yeah,
and like they're turning into a horror film. It's like, I'm sorry, as much as it
yeah.
would
Well,
be a fun, interesting experiment, I cannot see myself watching an R-rated Scooby Doo. Like, what? Fred's gonna say
yeah.
ass now? Like,
No, it's just like very unfortunate how we're getting, all these public domains and stuff. Which okay, cool. It's great for like artists to like you know profit off of something that like they're passionate about and what they grew up with. But then like we have like people that just want to get like it's a somewhat cheap way to make a bunch of money, and let's just take a beloved children's character and put him in a horror movie just
yeah,
to make some money.
but that's existed long ago and
I know.
everything, where, you know, like to us, we just look at it as like, really, it's like our childhood, and now you're turning a horror thing out of it. I was like, I mean, I look at Five Nights at Freddy's as like, well, what the fuck if Teletubbies were fucking horror? It's practically kind of, or those old school animatronic, you know, family functions, like a Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. What if, you know, we already know that there's some dark history from things that happen at events like that and everything, but like those exist. And I think that those movies, as much as we crap on them because they always seem like a cheap buck, you can always at least look at some of the artists that deep down that they actually had a story that they wish to tell. That all of this nostalgia stuff that we're looking at, it's through rose tinted glasses, and that not everything is what it is. I see that, and I was like, okay, I can get behind why you're doing that. The Peter Pan one, I was like, I mean, Peter Pan's always had dark history. There's always those dark theories that, you know, the boys that lived in Neverland that never grew up, they were all dead, you know, and that Hook was the boy that grew up, and he was kind of upset because he's not with his friends anymore. You know, we have like those dark internet theories of, oh, this is what this is or that is. Like Ed, Ed and Eddie, the reason all those kids' tongues are different colors because they're all fucking dead, you know.
Yeah.
But I think also too is when that actually gets put to a film, we're like, are we really doing this? Are we really trying to, you know, horrify our childhood? You know.
Stand that it's just like I was just thinking more of like how they pulled off Steamboat Willie like in that movie, and it's just like exactly you're just trying to make money. That's how I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
With yeah, especially as soon as Winnie the Pooh became public domain, immediately horror movie, and then the sequel happened when as soon as Tigger became public domain. It's just like really like you can't come up with like I can understand like the money part that I get, but there's other ways to be able to pull off what you're trying to do.
It's the artistic side that's really not being fed here. It's relying on past work and then just trying to make a buck off of it. Yeah. And
Hmm.
everything. It's like where is the room for the actual artistic expression to flow? Though I've been told that Winnie the Pooh 2 is a lot more better film, and maybe it should have started there, but it kind of felt like, well, you needed that first film in order for this next one to be so grand. And, you know,
Yeah,
but I
that
always
too.
felt like those films are like they're more of a, they jump off the background of what like Terrifier is in the sake of gore, that they have to be that gory. And it's like, look, I love gore, you know. One of my favorite gory scenes in cinema is in Dead and Alive, where the guy has the fucking busted ass lawnmower, and he's just mowing through a whole party full of dead zombies and everything. And you know, it's like, it's fun. It's like, you know, I think more or less my sense of gore and everything is there's a comedic element to it that's not really meant to be. Like even in Evil
Mm-hmm.
Dead, when Ash is looking down that pipe down in the basement, and you hear there's something coming, and you're like, what's coming out of that pipe? And then all of a sudden it's all this black blood that's just like hitting him.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like castor oil. That's what, and I felt bad too, because I
Yeah.
think he had his mouth open too. I was like, oh god, I hope that's not what I
Yeah.
think it is. Oh, like he's gonna be,
Uh,
lunch is not gonna be fun for him for the next couple of days, you know. But I haven't seen anything at Steamboat Willie or any of some of these other ones. I've seen the trailer for like Popeye the Sailor Man, and I'm like over here, it's like, all right, yeah, no, this is not. There's an
that is
audience for this. I'm not the audience. I'm not the audience. I'm. It's all like, you know, a guy died during a canning factory. It's like, really? Is this a superhero origin? He died in a spinach canning factory. It's like, this isn't for me. This is not for me.
This is stupid. Oh my god. You know, like one I would definitely see myself watching is like a Willy Wonka horror movie. I mean, when you really think about it,
I mean, Charlie and the
those kids
Chocolate
could have
Factory kind of scratched that
yeah,
itch a little bit, yeah. And then you look at the original
yeah.
Gene Wilder and the boat ride, and you're just like, oh fuck, like, you
I
know,
kn- mhm. Yeah, but I just kind of want to see more like more sinister elements
yeah.
into a Willy Wonka horror movie.
I think
You know what I'm
the
saying?
generations before us, and as well as us, because we were raised on those films as well, is that there is
Hmm.
something that they don't do too much in a lot of films that are like more or less made for family or just for children, is that they definitely strip away the actual horror element of what it is to be a kid. And
Hmm.
they just try to make it sit there seem like it's all good and it's all squeaky clean, when no, not really. Like horror is a basic part, just like love, anger, any other emotion, you know, fear, is just as much a normal part of our childhoods, you know. That's where we learn to develop our fears and everything. um Witches, the one with Angelica Houston and everything. I know
Hmm.
I know they did a remake with it. Is it Anne Hathaway? Yeah, I think it was Anne
Yeah,
Hathaway
it's
that
with
did.
Anne Hathaway
You
as the
know,
Grand Witch.
you don't have stories like that anymore these days. I guess like if you look in some of the deep lore of certain things, you kind of have that, like what is it, like Adventure Time, and oh my god, what is name, there's like this one, it's like these two siblings, uh they go live during the summer with, I think, their grandpa. Gravity Falls. Like that one has like a
Oh,
little bit. It has a bit of
yeah,
an
Gravity
outline.
Falls.
Yeah, it has a bit of an outline of there is some horror and fear into childhood, but also too there's like all the fun frolicking, like oh my god, you know. There's that too, and you look at Over the Garden Wall. It's a very whimsical throwback to the classic traditions of the cartoons that our grandparents had been watching and everything. But like there is this underlining fear, you know, that also kind of stems and pushes. Look at The Never Ending Story. It's a really great
Mm,
fucking film. The nothing is our depression. That's what it is. It's depression manifested into a fucking creature and everything.
hmm.
We don't, we kind of have those, but I think also too it's like we don't look at them quite as fondly as we do our childhood. But I think we still need, we need more of those. Like even with Stephen King's It, that one scratches, I think, something for any generation of what children deal with in
Hmm.
horror. You know, because their imaginations, you know, they can scare the living wits out of each other on the littlest
Hmm.
thing. um so yeah, Hollywood, make more of that. Quit giving us this squeaky clean bullshit, you know.
Exactly.
Disney, go back to having some really underlining horror stuff, because you know there's shorts, like even something simple as the what is that? I think it's like the old barn or whatever. It, the whole plot of it is just a thunderstorm, and just what are these farm animals sitting there doing during the
Mm,
thunderstorm. You know, you hear like the winds, the music, the crescendo of everything. It's
yeah.
not really
It's
horror,
weird.
but it's kind of given a horror lens to this, you know.
Yeah. No, I miss it when they just made the villains like just pure villains. Example, Hunchback of Notre Dame. That one was a great film. Very underrated when it shouldn't be
Yeah,
because it just plays on real shit.
yeah.
That happens.
And I mean, really, if you've ever read the story of Hunchback, that's a very tamed approach to it. But still, they were able to tame
Yeah.
it enough, but still make it a memorable film.
Oh yeah.
I love the Disney Renaissance. That's a wonderful period of time. I'm one
Mm.
of those people. Yes, I love the Renaissance, but I love that little in between middle year between like like the golden age of Disney, and then like you had like the Rescuers, which again that it's a children's movie, but the shit that happens to these children, they're fucked up. Black Cauldron.
Yeah, all the
You know,
Disney content from the 90s. Oh, it's so good. It's the best.
yeah. It I think it
Mm.
was a fine good line between you have your whimsical dreamland that you want to bring all the families in to have a good time, and then you have a little bit of horror. You have that fear element to it, and I definitely feel like that's missing, and it's missing.
Yeah, it's definitely
We
is.
fell off the fucking train track in Nosferatu. It's a great fucking film, folks. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Pay attention to the Orlok cock. That's what we're gonna call it, the Orlok cock. you know
So,
James Gunn, I hope if you're listening to this and everything, you place that in somewhere in the background of a mantle so that if Clark sees it in Luthor's manor, there's like, well, this explains everything. What's wrong with the man? And it's like, he has phallic art on display. Like the moment I walk into the manor, like, it's like the man
mhm.
screaming something. But we are going to sit there. We are going to wrap it up here. Paul, where can the folks find you on the socials?
Well, well, the one. Well, I don't have Twitter anymore. I deleted it a while ago. You can follow me on my TikTok. I don't post there much, but I repost a lot of stuff. I I repost about anything.
You
Every now and then I'll post about my pets.
I think a lot of the stuff that I've been reposting, you've been like repost, and it's all like, oh great. It's like I've never done reposting before, so now doing this, I was like, oh, is this like the difference of like Facebook or Instagram of all like you like and share something and you just send it to people? It's like I'm an old man. I don't understand how TikTok works. So whenever I discover
Yeah,
that, it's like, yeah.
when you look at the reposts I do, you'll figure out what kind of person I am. I have very strong opinions about things, and if no one likes it, then I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, fuck them. Folks, you can find me at the Gothic Storyteller on all the socials, and you can also watch this episode not just on YouTube but also on Spotify. Thank you guys again so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys all later. Bye bye.
Stay spooky.